Hey, I'm Adam,
I'm Sam.
And I'm Tim.
and welcome to Flipper Flicks, where we do a terrible job at discussing movies, but we're so glad that you're here to listen. This week, we're watching a very, very special movie to our good friend Tim. He got award-winning category, which means he could pick any movie that had any award given to it. He is going to give you a rundown on the movie now.
My category was award-winning, as Adam just said. And I found a movie that these two had never seen, much to my surprise. So I went ahead and chose Harry and the Hendersons. What award did it win, might you be asking? This was makeup. And it shows, I think. I think later on you'll see. It shows. If you haven't seen it before. But I'm gonna read the synopsis here. You can find this on Google Play. Also, if you have Cinemax, you can find it on Hulu with Cinemax or just Cinemax. But it's $3.99 on Google Play is how we watched it because neither one of us have Cinemax. Anyway, so here's the synopsis. Academy Award nominee John Lithgow stars in this big-hearted, big-footed family comedy. Everything changes with a crash for the Hendersons when they meet a real-life Bigfoot named Harry after a car accident. Harry proves himself to be a true friend, and when the authorities set out to capture him, the household comes together in a race against the clock to return the loving Sasquatch to his natural habitat. The fur's sure to fly in this charming romp filled with monster-sized laughs. That last line was irritating to read.
I mean, it definitely was interesting.
It's a crazy one.
And so I guess review-wise, this got 42% by critics, 53% by audience, and then Google Play has it at 4.4 out of 5 stars. Now, before I give, I guess you guys probably already know my rating for it. Maybe not, since I was so eager to watch it. But I want to know what you guys thought about it. What would you give it, like, rating-wise? You enjoy it? You not enjoy it? Make you laugh? What do you got for me?
It made me laugh, and it was enjoyable, that's for sure. Yeah, Sam?
Well, okay, so I'm a big Bigfoot fan. Like, I watched Finding Bigfoot with my little brother on Animal Planet for like way too long. Like, it's embarrassing how long. So I thought this was like, it gave me lots of good Bigfoot vibes, obviously, and I think it was a good one. Like, it was if it was flying by on TV or like you were looking for something for the fam specifically, like I think that is a good one.
Now, being such an expert on Bigfoot, would you say that, which one would you think is more like it? Like George Jr., like the main character, his first interpretation of his drawing? Or would you say like where George Sr. kind of add a little extras to it, like the scary face? Which one do you think is going to be the real life Bigfoot when he gets found in 2026?
Well, I would say probably the friendly Bigfoot. I would like to think that. Otherwise, all the Bigfoots would have wiped us out by now.
Tim, I know that you're into like all these crazy folktales too, like werewolves and everything.
Yeah.
You thinking it's a good guy, bad guy? Omnivore, carnivore, herbivore?
Well, before we dive too deep, I do want to say spoilers, but
that is true. Spoiler.
I guess we forgot to warn people, but that's okay. Yeah. Watch the movie if you don't want to be spoiled from here on out. It is from *87, so it's older than all of us, but that's okay.
Showing our age.
No, I think it was interesting that like in the movie he's a vegetarian. I found that interesting. He doesn't eat meat, but he eats like fish and stuff.
Yeah, he's pescatarian then, right?
Yeah, I guess so. But I don't think that's accurate to what a creature like that of that size would be like in nature if it were to be more realistic. But it makes sense for the movie. Just some of his actions in the movie, like burying the taxidermy stuff.
Yeah.
I think it was pretty good. A good interpretation of what Bigfoot might be.
Yeah, I agree, and that was one of the things that we joked about when we were watching him eat when he first like got in the house. We were like, wait a minute, like why is he a vegetarian or a pescatarian or whatever?
Just like to throw it's probably more of a vegetarian.
Yeah,
he did eat that one goldfish.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, which was heartbreaking.
That was heartbreaking.
I was very surprised.
Sam just lost 2 goldfish.
I did.
She did.
I did recently.
And she also wants
that,
according to Reddit and the entire internet, that one goldfish needs like 75 gallons for a tank. Crazy.
Yes, so I don't think they have a big enough.
They didn't have a
tank.
big enough tank. So Harry needed to eat some of it. It's part of the plot.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, he needed to help.
That was like 100-gallon tank, and he had like 6 in there or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he needed to wean it out for them.
It was good for it. It was good.
I'm sure those were his thoughts. Yeah.
Exactly.
Definitely.
He was on Reddit and he was like, you know what? You guys have too many fish in here. I'm gonna help you with this population issue.
It was good of Harry to do that. I'm so proud of him. #woke.
Okay, so I want to know what your guys' favorite scenes were, because mine were pretty early on. I have 2 very specific scenes that I enjoyed. But what were your favorite scenes?
Sam, you go first.
Okay, so I think you kind of already brought up one of them when Harry first comes into the house and he's like super offended that there are taxidermy animals.
Yeah.
And then he starts like
taxidermy.
Yeah, that's why you don't keep him.
Bigfoot comes into your home one day. 2026.
That's true. Like, just in case Bigfoot does come by, like, you probably want to hide your taxidermy animals. But I thought that was funny. And then even more so, like, when they buried them. And then kind of going along with that, so the one at the end where all of the taxidermy animals fall out of the closet and they're just, like, filling the front, like, foyer.
Human.
Yeah.
And then they go and bury them all. Like, I thought that was super cute.
That
and just
funny.
Hilarious because I don't know, it was some good wholesome content that we got going on there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And then one of my other favorites was in the beginning, and Harry first comes home, and then they're trying to like hide him in the basement, and then the little kid Ernie like takes him into the basement, and Harry just wrecks the steps down to the basement. Like, they're totally abolished. And then Ernie just like pops up and he goes, "We're all right." Like, no idea how they're going to get back upstairs. Like, not even worried, like typical kid fashion. I thought that was hilarious.
Before I get to my scene, I just want to point out that Ernie went looking at the very beginning of the movie when they're still in the car before Harry is even seen. They're talking and like Sarah's just being Sarah.
Sarah's the worst.
Sarah is the worst. The worst. But Ernie is looking for his baseball glove in the middle of the night in the cooler.
I don't think I caught that.
Yeah, I don't think I caught that either.
Yeah, Sarah yells, "Ew, that's gross. Why does it smell like fish suddenly?" And then George is just like, "Close the cooler." "I was just checking if it's in there, Dad."
Like, he's a little kid. God. That kind of makes sense, honestly.
I know. I was like, come on.
I mean, it kind of checks out. Like, little kids look everywhere for stuff, right? Like, they lose something. You know, I mean, not that I have any, but, you know, I was a kid, and I went and did weird stuff. But
I think
at one point, I'm pretty sure
6 foot by, like, 3rd grade, right? But, like, yeah, and he rifled through. Like, you would expect him to, like, rifle through and then see, like, maybe his dad's gun, you know? He's like, "You did bring it." After explicitly being told he did not. But he was already going through it and never saw it. Plot holes. Come on. Ernie. No, I'm just kidding. Anywho, but my favorite scene is the biker scene. So George approaches this bicyclist who just saw Harry, and he's just spouting about like, "Oh my God, I saw him. I slammed on my brakes and all this stuff." And I always stop at the stop signs, officer. I always do. And I'm like, Yeah. And then George goes off on him. That's my favorite scene. Yeah.
That was a good one.
That's a good one. Cool. Yeah. Good picks. I have to go with Sam. I like the taxidermy scene right at the beginning. That was one of my favorites. The reason it's my favorite is because when he figures out it's a taxidermy, like he's petting the deer and stuff, and he looks around the wall for the other half of the deer.
Yes.
And he's like patting the wall. I loved it. And he like punches his arm through the wall trying to find it and all this stuff. And then he's mad. And then he segues into burying all of it. I thought that was great. Yeah, that was probably my favorite scene. And then the TV scene when he's in the streets and he's watching the TVs. This is my other favorite scene. And he like keeps trying to walk away with the TV. And I was losing it there. So, I thought that was great.
Okay, question. Have you ever seen TVs in Windows?
Sure, yeah.
Oh.
You have?
Where? When?
I mean, it's like a electronics store type thing. It doesn't happen much anymore, but yeah, I feel like I've seen that. Unless I've always just seen it in movies and assumed I've seen it, but I feel like I've seen TVs in Windows before.
Yeah. We were discussing this. Like, I don't know if I have.
Well, the thing is, it was always like an older, like when there was more smaller electronic stores around.
CRT
That
TVs
it's
or
more of
whatever.
that kind of feel rather than like Best Buy or something, H.H. Gregg kind of thing.
Yeah, that's true. Well, and in that same scene, it really shows the film really shows its age because like the electronics say like cassettes, VHSs, and I was like, yes.
Well, and that's the thing. I think this movie definitely is from the 80s, right? Yes. But at the same time, it doesn't necessarily feel like it. Like it felt like it could have come out, besides some of the obvious 80s stuff or like some of the green screen stuff, it feels like it could have come out sometime recently. I mean, it doesn't feel like an 80s movie necessarily when you're watching it. And maybe that's due to the makeup,
I was just gonna say that like this movie does like in my eyes it stands the test of time in terms of makeup. Like I know we said we weren't gonna cover makeup and costume design in our trailer, but I really feel like we kind of owe it to this movie to talk about the makeup because his facial expressions that he's able to get are so great. But B is kind of shocking because you would assume like the makeup is pretty heavy, right? Like there's no part of him that looks human. So the fact that he's able to like get like high caliber expressions is pretty awesome. And then also kind of like you're saying, if you dropped him into like present day show or movie, like I don't think I'd be like, man, that guy looks like trash. Like I think that he looks pretty legit. Like if he was a Sasquatch in a movie these days, I wouldn't blink an eye.
Like Sam has watched quite a bit of what is it, Face Off?
Yes.
Face Off. So like she's an expert now.
Oh, such an expert.
At watching. Not doing it, just watching.
Right, yeah. Naturally.
Right.
So,
exactly.
Like, and you can tell that his name is Rick Baker. I wrote down his name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's like you did great. But Rick Baker, you'd be like, well, you don't hear much about hair and makeup people ever.
That's
like,
true.
Outside of like Oscar award-winning times, shout out, won an Oscar for this. Good job, Rick Baker.
Good job.
There you go. There's your award. Yep.
Yay!
Yay! give me the snap for the clap there.
Yeah.
But what other movies? Like some great movies that he's done. He did Batman Forever, so that one's like
okay.
That one's the one with Arnold, right?
Mr. Freeze?
Yeah. Mr. Freeze, I believe so. I don't know.
I forget.
All right, hold on.
Batman
Somebody's
Forever?
got to look that up. Yeah. I think that is the one with George Clooney and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, and then there's
it's definitely a George Clooney movie, but or not. Is that
George
Clooney or what's his name? See, now I'm confused because I'm picturing what's his name? I can't think of it now.
There were so many Batman movies.
There's been a lot. It's the one with Jim Carrey as the Riddler. It's Val Kilmer.
Oh, not
really?
the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I was definitely picturing the guy. Oh my gosh,
Two-Face.
I can't think of his name.
So he won.
So he didn't make.
No, he didn't win anything.
He was on it.
He just did. He worked on this, The Nutty Professor.
Nice.
Men in Black. He was on the Alien team for Men in Black.
The Alien team.
And he did Men in Black 2 and 3 as well.
Dang.
He did. This one will make a lot of sense. How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Okay, fair.
Yes!
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, sidebar. I have to bring this up now just because you segued so nicely into that.
Done yet.
You can finish.
Now go ahead.
That the ending scene, first off, what the fuck? But also, I was gonna say the little mini Bigfoot looks exactly like the Grinch. Like that's in my notes. And I was like, that's weird. Like
yeah, like little kid Grinch, right?
Yeah, because it's so much before the Grinch, but it makes so much more sense now that he was the makeup.
All right, going on.
Now that I got that out of my system.
We got the Planet of the Apes, like 2001 edition. That's got Marky Mark in it, right?
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Tron. So he did the new Tron with like Jeff Bridges.
Oh, new Tron.
Right.
Okay.
Chris Pratt.
Well, Jeff Bridges was in both.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was.
He? I didn't see.
Yeah, we haven't seen them.
Add that to the list.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's why they made him younger in this one because in the older one he was in. Yeah.
I don't think you've seen the new one either, have you?
No, I said I haven't seen either.
Oh. And then Maleficent.
Oh, like recent.
I have not seen Maleficent.
Not the second one, the first one.
Oh, okay.
All right, and then here's the big one. Tropic Thunder. He was Robert Downey Jr.'s makeup guy.
That's amazing.
Nice.
All right. I'm into it. I'm glad I picked this. I like this guy. All right.
Yeah, Rick Baker, man. He's done some big things. He's done a lot of other work, but I just wrote down a few of them.
I feel like he's got quite the resume.
He
like
does.
There's some good stuff on there.
He's really good with fur, clearly.
Clearly.
Like he got Planet of the Apes, The Grinch, Harry and the Hendersons. Like he claimed at one point in time Harry was his favorite piece of work.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, Harry's massive.
How tall do you think
Harry's
looked
like
huge.
It seemed like he changed sizes randomly.
Yes.
Every once in a while. But I think like on average he's probably about 7 foot, maybe like 6 something, but like he's definitely like 7 foot.
John Lithgow, is it Lithgow or Lithgow?
I think it's Lithgow.
Lithgow is 6'2".
Yeah.
Oh, so he's pretty tall.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Harry
that.
stood over 8 feet tall.
Damn.
The actor playing Harry, Kevin Peter Hall, is 7'2" already.
Whoa, monster!
Okay, so they probably gave him like small stilts or something.
Yeah.
Or put him on a box.
I don't think they put him on a box. But yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Huh.
Because I do think that when he first comes into the house, like he looks massive. But then, like you were saying, Tim, like when you see him outside in other scenes, like he doesn't stand that tall above.
Yeah, I feel like they got away with like camera angles and stuff at some point, and like took away the stilts or something. I'm not sure, but it definitely seemed like he wasn't as massive at certain times.
Oh, for sure.
I have to say something because we're kind of deep into this now. So in the very beginning, something that I lost it on, and it compares to something later on. Well, not even later on. It's just shortly thereafter when they find Harry. In the very beginning, they're showing like Harry's like point of view walking through the woods, right? And then they show dad and son coming through after hunting, and then they show up at the camp, and Sarah screams bloody murder, and then it shows them standing there holding the rabbit, and I'm like, what?
Yes.
And then later on, when she first sees Harry, there's like no scream. She like doesn't scream. Like there's just like a little scream. I'm like, how is that a thing? How did she scream bloody murder? I know it was just kind of setting up for the movie, but it was just awkward and funny to me. I was like, she just screamed bloody murder. They were standing there with a rabbit. I don't know. It just felt like unnatural, like forced. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I just thought it was silly.
So like, are you talking about when she first saw him? Like they thought he was dead after
the first minute of the movie is
I know about
before the intro. Yeah,
but when she sees them, she doesn't scream.
She doesn't scream, yeah. And then also at the house when she comes downstairs after all the ruckus and she stands there and like she doesn't like she's not as phased as like them standing there or as surprised as them standing there with a rabbit and then screamed her head off. But I don't know, I just thought that was funny. It was just weird.
Well, and then you think about their house is filled with taxidermy.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're like, wait, hold on.
Wait, now I am more confused about
they were
this.
out there hunting something. Yeah. So it's like, what are you screaming for?
This is why Sarah's the worst.
Well, I mean, Harry ate her 15-year-old, like, her 15-year-old birthday corsage, which
it
is
was
what
6
flower?
months old, and she was going to keep it forever. Yeah.
Yes, this was one of my favorite quotes. You can't just go around eating people's corsages. You can't just do that.
I mean,
that's true. That's a fact of life. You can't just go around eating people's corsages.
I don't know. I mean, if you got no spices left or something, you gotta try what you can.
Well, technically speaking, I have eaten an edible flower in a martini. So
yeah.
But
it wasn't an orchid.
I'm not sure. It was.
Was it also like somebody's corsage?
No, it was. It was just in the drink.
A flower can can be edible.
Yeah,
it doesn't you just eat it. It doesn't matter what what I mean. Just eat it. It's not gonna hurt you.
Yeah,
I think. I don't know.
Well, the bartender told me it's an edible flower, so I was like, "All right, you're either fucking with me, or it was an edible flower." Like, who knows? It didn't harm me though.
Oh my!
Yeah, so I really want to bring up this car, this amazing woodchuck that this guy has. Now, Tim's a car guy. He loves his vehicle.
Right.
Tim, name what type of car, like what year and make of a car that is.
I got nothing for you. Yeah.
Sam?
No. It's a woodchuck.
Thank you. It is a 1970 Ford LTD Country Squire.
Okay, I didn't even know that car existed.
Neither did I.
Yeah, you got me there.
Showing our ages again.
he's like, it's a classic, and I'm like, is it? Like, I saw like so many of those.
I mean, the old wagons and stuff are definitely classics. Like, there's definitely. I mean, you look at any movie from that era, and like, they always have a wagon in it, right? Like, it's just, it's a thing.
It's like
the
their
old family car. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just funny. I was like, oh my.
Yeah. So I was just looking at my notes. Yeah. And I had to look this up real quick on the movie. So at 5 minutes and 54 seconds, this is very specific. They hit Harry, right?
Yeah.
And they stop, and he like adjusts his mirrors, and they all turn around, and the camera pans to the back seat of the kids, and Sarah looks like she's in the bathroom just struggling. Like, she doesn't. The face she has compared to everyone else looks like she is just in the bathroom, dropping a deuce, like straight up struggling. Like, it is just the most awkward. Like,
not having a good time.
I can't tell what she's trying to accomplish, or like what that face is supposed to be. I don't know. I feel like we're digging on Sarah a lot, but like, I thought that was. I don't know. I forgot I wrote that down, and I looked at it. I was like,
Well, and I think this was child acting in its golden years.
Right.
Saying that sarcastic. Because, like, I feel like child acting has come a long way since now. Like, I don't really notice it as much. But you flip on a film like this, and you notice it hardcore.
Yeah. Straight, yeah.
By their facial expressions and just how they deliver the lines. It's just, it's great.
Yeah, and a lot of the cuts in general in this movie, or like some of the reactions they have, are very, I don't know. You can just tell it's age, I guess, or like the era, but
yeah, kind of. Oh my god! And you're like,
yeah.
Everybody else sounds fine. Just sound crazy, kid.
Yep.
Well, and one of my favorite things about this was the 80s clothing. Like, you don't notice it so much on the dudes as you do the wife. Like, Nancy's clothing and Sarah's clothing is just horrendous. Like, they just don't make clothing like that. And I don't know that they ever did, but if they did, that was a rough time. Like, RIP fashion during that time.
So real. Yeah. Anybody else notice that they were asking, like, do you, like, when they first see Harry, we were just talking about, they're like, do you think it could be a gorilla?
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, this is just, it's foreshadowing for Rick Baker's work in Planet of the Apes.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, totally.
Just like what, 20 years early?
Straight up, like, yeah.
14.
Oh, my.
14
years
20,
early.
Same difference in movies, yeah.
Pretty close.
Yeah. Round up.
I think that's pretty natural response to hitting something
right.
that looks that massive, you know.
I know.
Granted, it did very little damage to the car initially, and
yes, I have that written down. Like, the further along you go in the movie, the more damage there is to car, which I get because like Harry is like ripping up doors. But like it seems like but it seems like the front end does get more damage, and I'm like, wait a minute, like. That was not how damaged it was in the first scene. And also, why wasn't it damaged in the first scene? Like, is this unknown car just a tank? And we don't know.
1970 LTD Ford Country Squire?
Yeah, I think that might be a tank. It can get some damage.
Probably. I don't know. I thought that was interesting.
And when they first hit him, I love that the mom is super concerned. Like, she's like, what if he's the only one? We can't kill him. And it's like, but if he's a gorilla
on TV.
Go ahead. What?
I'm watching Sam over here on the TV.
Oh yes, I am very concerned for animals. But if it's a gorilla, he's not the only one. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Well, also, you're in Washington.
Yeah.
There are no gorillas in Washington, as far as I understand.
I was like,
well, and also in the beginning when she keeps talking to him, like he like gets his gun out and he goes to investigate or whatever. This might have been like the second time. I don't remember exactly how it goes. And she's like talking to him, and she's like, "Are you sure he's dead?" She rolls down the window, and then she rolls it back up.
I love that.
And then he's like, "Yeah, I'm sure." And then she rolls it back down. Are you super sure? Like,
yeah.
Like, that was so silly. And
I love that.
That was pretty irritating. I thought that was good. Yeah.
That's something I would have done.
You were sure the first time?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh gosh. Oh, I found so when he's watching TV later on, that laugh.
Yes.
Like that was ridiculous. But I thought it was great. That was one of my favorites too. I forgot about that. The laugh he has. Oh my god.
Well, all of his noises, I think in general, are just iconic. Like they're so funny. You can't. Which I'm like, I get it. He's a Bigfoot. He can make whatever noises he wants. But damn, that was
the laugh alone. I thought, I don't know. Just that was funny. I don't know. I just loved it.
Well, and didn't you like something from that scene too? Because something about blue cheese.
Oh yeah. So the kid gives him blue cheese to eat with his chips. And then he goes to the mom or dad, I don't remember. He's like, oh, he didn't like the blue cheese.
Yeah.
First off, nobody really does.
Also, who eats blue cheese with chips? Like
Tyler.
Right. Yeah, probably.
Okay.
But yeah, you just see it like sliding down the wall, like just the gross goop.
So good.
But yeah, I really want to know what your guys' opinion of Jacques Lafleur, the hunter.
Very charactery.
His French accent, awful.
I think that guy's actually French though.
Nah, he's from England.
Really? I know he's played a French character in other movies. I just lost The In-Laws. It's like a spy comedy movie. Yeah, he plays a French drug dealer, I think, like a kingpin style drug dealer.
So maybe he just got like accent classes.
French,
and
I was
apparently it didn't work out according to
me.
I think also
a kids movie act. It was just
definitely. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. And I think for this it was a little exaggerated because he was wearing that. I don't know if it's a beret or whatever that French style hat, and I was like, he's straight up like very charactery right now.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely very thematic, and for some reason he just got this weird get up the whole time. But
and then he eats that hair or tastes.
Yes. Oh
yeah.
I didn't find that weird.
Oh, well, I mean, you just.
I was like, yeah, whatever. They're just making him look like a weird hunter. Sure, they make him do weird shit in movies. I don't know. It didn't faze me. I was like, all right, yeah. I get it.
This is normal, guys. People just eat hair.
Nowadays it would have been, some feces or something, but.
Oh, that's true. They would have gone full Philly style.
But how he found hair, I don't know.
Well, and I think like part of also what was shocking to me was that he licked it twice. Like he licks it once and then he goes back and licks it again. Like what?
He spits and then licks it again. Yeah.
What did you not get the first lick? Like I'm just curious. Yeah, he was a good character though.
Then he takes it over to Dr. Wrightwood's house.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dr. Wrightwood. That museum he has set up there, Sam would stop there in a heartbeat.
I would stop there in a heartbeat.
Hands down. Like I would find that on the internet as like something that would be on my list. Yeah, on road trippers for a Washington trip. And I would stop there. And I would buy that big old Bigfoot lamp that they have.
I know you would.
Like that was pretty sweet. We don't have space
for it, but we would have it here.
Yeah. I think everybody should have one of those.
Yeah.
No, that would be cool.
It's a good conversation piece.
Oh man.
It really pulls the room together.
Oh, for sure. It would really pull the room together.
Go with my dragon lamp and my Superman leg. See,
you already have a weird leg.
I've already got a weird leg. Yeah.
Leg. It's like a Bigfoot leg.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look for that. That'll be your next birthday gift.
Oh man!
Spoiler.
Last year's Oktoberfest.
I'm not upset.
Leg.
I mean, it was a pretty hefty leg.
It was. Could not have been cheap.
Speaking of legs, I mean, what a segue there. When they were bringing Harry back to the house, all right, so they strapped him to the top of the car. They're leaving his feet exposed under the blanket. Like, I would love to see like a deleted scene or another scene where you just see a bunch of cars like pull up and give it some weird looks. Cause like you can totally see the feet. And like they made it all the way home. As far as we're concerned, nobody stopped them. Nobody gave them weird looks on the road. Like I just think that's hilarious because if you saw some like feet just hanging, you don't think you'd be like, what the fuck is going on over there?
It really helps that they were at night.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that's true. I think it would have been funny though to have a scene where they pass somebody or somebody's passing them and like slowly just staring at them like really confused.
Yeah.
And then they just like John Lithgow just gives them like a wave or something or a nod. Would have been pretty funny.
Yes.
That would have been good.
The scene we're looking for.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, I want to get into the fact that like we see all these actors and actresses in movie constantly. Mm-hmm. John Lithgow, classic. You've seen him in things like 30 Rock and Bombshell.
Oh,
he's Roger in Bombshell.
Oh, he's the
president of Fox News in that movie.
So there you go.
He's in a fat suit, I think.
He definitely is.
I don't know. He might have put on some extra. He
might
be cultivating mass.
Yeah,
he's cultivating lots of mass. If that's not a fat suit. Sorry, John Lithgow.
The mom, Nancy Henderson, who's played by Melinda Dillon, is in a movie called A Christmas Story. If you haven't heard of it, she's the mother in that as well.
Nice. I haven't seen that either. I know.
You haven't seen Christmas Story?
I know. I was waiting for that.
Are you serious?
It's crazy.
Okay. I get not seeing Harry and the Hendersons a little bit. Oh my gosh.
We'll allow that.
Like A Christmas Story. How have you not seen it? Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I gotta add it to my list. But you know what I did do? I went to the Christmas Story house in Cleveland.
I've been to the house up in Cleveland.
Which is kind of like awkward because I hadn't seen the movie.
I know. And then we went to the gift store and we were like, there's a bunny costume. That's cool, I guess.
Yeah. I know
Yeah, okay, so wait, hold on. I gotta go out back to the red leg now. So I thought that was also a reference to A Christmas Story because in A Christmas Story, I figured from you. Yeah, okay, all right.
I know about it.
But yeah. All right, carry on. Yeah.
And then Jacques Lafleur's Suchet. He's in a lot of British stuff.
Okay, but apparently also does French accents.
Yeah. Irene Moffat, the next door neighbor, which I want to comment, she somehow has teleportation because she gets off the phone, is already at the front door.
Yeah,
which I think is just supposed to be part of her character. But I'm like, you don't have cell phones in 1987, and if you do, they're like the size of a horse.
Well, and I think she's the next door neighbor, right? Yeah. But still, it was crazy timing.
But that's played by Leen Kazan. I'm terrible at names. I'm going to butcher them throughout this entire series. She is the mom in My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Heck yeah, she is.
Yeah.
I noticed that. Oh, it's a classic.
It's all right. I'm not. Sam loved it, but it's a chick flick. Rom-com.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's got fun parts.
Irene does have another iconic quote in my eyes. So when they, at the end, they're washing Harry in the pool next door.
Yeah.
She comes over and she's talking to Nancy. He's like, I just don't get my husband. Forget his name. It was like Herb, something like that. Herb. Okay.
Yeah.
And she's like, Herb doesn't get it. And she goes, he thinks that a condor flew over and took a shit in the pool. And I just thought that was so great. First off, we just got condors flying around our neighborhood and they take shits in our pool. And that's just a viable, a big enough shit that it would dirty your whole pool. Iconic.
Yeah. I feel like that's a very relationship-y thing for them. I don't know. If you think about her and how they portray her as a person in the movie, and then what kind of person she would have married, or you know what I mean, would marry. They're probably just tired of her shit. It was just saying something, to get her to shut up or something like that.
So that she'd then go across the street.
She's a kid.
Yeah, give her something, to work with, and then she'll leave. But as far as condors go, I don't know if they're common in Washington, but whatever.
Nor do I know if their poop could actually that much.
And then leave a hairball. Yeah.
Then you got George Henderson Sr. Now he is Emmett Walsh in the most recent movie I've seen him in. He's in Knives Out. He's Bromby's security guard.
Huh? Yeah, I haven't watched that yet.
High tech. Oh, it's great.
You guys.
I heard it's good. Yeah.
But he talks about we got high tech here with the VHS player. And I'm like, this is great. But
he also looked like he cultivated some mass.
He did
since the 80s.
But then we got Dr. Wrightwood. He is played by Don Amesh, who is an Oscar award-winning actor.
Really?
The Doctor. He won it for the movie Cocoon, directed by Ron Howard.
Oh, that's known. That. I haven't seen it, but that's known.
And then he also played in the classic Homeward Bound.
Nice.
He was the voice of Shadow.
Oh, was he really? I didn't know that.
Yep.
That was his best role.
But we're not even to Harry yet. Played by Kevin Peter Paul.
That name sounds
Peter
familiar.
Hall, not Peter Paul.
Oh.
Nice. He is... Tim, you ready for this one?
Yeah.
He is the Predator.
That doesn't surprise me. Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger Predator.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
I was like, they're just taking advantage of his height.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dude also has a good resume. Harry and the Hendersons and
Predator. And then Predator 2.
And then not Predators.
And then he's part of the spin-off TV series of Harry and the Hendersons. There are 72 episodes of it.
72? That's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, it was 3 seasons.
I'm not going to watch
character to reprise their role, but unfortunately, during the series, he did pass away, and they had to replace him.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Okay, I want to hear more about this show. Like, when was it? Is it from the 80s?
From 1991 to 93.
Okay, so only a couple of years after the movie.
But yeah. But if they wanted to bring it back, I just say they put some fur on Ron Perlman, because that face looks like Ron Perlman's face.
Ron Perlman's a little aged now, but yeah, I agree.
I mean, if he's covered in fur, you won't know.
Yeah, he's just gonna be.
I don't think he's gonna be jumping up in the air and landing on his butt and crashing through stuff, but
that was great.
I think Ron Perlman could pull it off. Yeah.
And that's the majority of the cast. Sarah and nothing. Really.
Sarah and Ernie. Man, I'm really sad that Sarah's not like showing off her angst in other 80s.
Right.
That I feel like
I recognize her a little bit, but
she might have done a couple things, just nothing super.
That's true.
For some reason, I pictured Free Willy. Oh, that's weird. It's advertised right there. Like, isn't there like a girlfriend or something in that? I don't know if that was her or not. But I pictured her when that popped up, but it's probably a completely different person.
I have no idea. I haven't seen that movie in a very long time.
Yeah.
We were wee little tots.
At least you've seen it. I would have been really... I don't know what I would have said if you guys hadn't seen that. Might have just hung up and walked away at that point.
Well, I was going to say, I feel like that's the theme of this episode, is us spitting out movies that we haven't seen. So that lays...
From when we were young.
Yes, that lays some good groundwork for the future.
Right, yeah. It might be something we come back to. But
yeah. I really want to come back and talk about Dr. Wrightwood's polo tie.
Oh, yes.
It's classic.
Oh, classic.
Yeah, it's a little Bigfoot.
Yeah.
It was pretty sweet.
I feel like there's probably one on Etsy. If not, we can figure it out.
We can probably get one.
And I just got one.
Yeah?
I'm just kidding.
Add to cart.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Something funny I remembered.
Oh, yeah.
When LaFleur's chasing him in the end, and he's trying to shoot him in the woods, and then Harry shows up and breaks his gun, and grabs LaFleur, and then LaFleur kicks him. Right?
Yeah.
Right in the happy zone. And he has a super delayed response.
Yes!
And he's like, oh. And then 5 seconds later is good to go and starts chasing him again. I don't know. I just thought that was...
Yes.
It just took longer to eat feet.
Right. Yeah.
That's true. Well, I remember...
I don't think that's how it works.
It could be.
I'm not a neurologist, though.
That's true. Well, I think that's how it works, because I remember when we were watching it, he kicks him, and I'm like, oh, shoot.
Yeah. And then,
here it comes, and then nothing happens, and I'm like, oh, I guess it didn't hurt him. It was long enough in between for me to go, oh, I guess it didn't hurt him. Mm-hmm. There was still some time, and then he writes in pain, and I'm like, oh, it did hurt him. That's how delayed it was. Yeah, that's bonkers.
Oh, shoot.
And then I gotta say, I got 2 questions for you.
All
right. Dr. Wrightwood, I believe it was Dr. Have you ever seen a baby pigeon?
Oh, I remember that.
Oh, yeah.
I can't say I have. I used to work downtown in Cincy, and pigeons everywhere. I don't think I saw a baby one.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
Yeah, you don't really see their nests, do you? Yeah.
No. You see all the little spikes so that they...
But that's smart of them. Because they're everywhere. And, I guess that's why we never seen them, because they're smart enough to hide their nests or something. I'm not sure.
Then at the end of the movie, Harry's sitting up a tree with a bunch of little pigeons on him. Baby pigeons.
Oh, yes!
I think they were supposed to be pigeons.
We're going to roll with that, even if they're not.
I'm pulling that up. Hold on.
Let us have this, Tim.
Pigeons? I'll agree with you for now. I'll look it up. I don't even know what that would be at, so.
Yeah, I don't either. It's not at 45 minutes in when they finally give Harry a name.
Oh, that's true. But wait, I don't think I can let you have the pigeon thing because are pigeons native to like woods? I've only ever seen them in the city. Aren't they like trash birds?
I think they're supposed to be they're flying rats.
Well, if we're going native, I mean, they've probably been around longer than cities, but
yeah, Sam.
They probably originated somewhere.
I've never seen a pigeon in the woods.
Pigeon? I don't know. Yeah.
Is there such a thing?
Ooh.
Where is that scene? I'm trying to find it.
It's at the very end, man.
Yeah, it's
Harry's
when
I know. I'm clicking through the end.
He's watching George wearing the plasters on his feet, making all the steps.
I thought that was clever.
That was pretty clever, yeah. I really also liked how George went one way. The Dr. Wrightwood, Nancy, Sarah, and Ernie go another way. And I'm like, what? Could have split more evenly.
I think they said, like, he said something like, go as much as you can so that you can confuse him. But I get what you're saying. Like, they could have gotten 2 and 2.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, second question. Now, this one kind of expects you to have gone to Disney World and Animal Kingdom. Who wins in a fight, Harry Henderson or the Disco Yeti from Everest?
I think the Disco Yeti. He's pretty huge.
But is he 8 feet tall? I don't know. It's like a split second that you see.
They're kind of like the same species, right? Like they're just different subspecies. I'd say they don't fight. They just become friends.
I would say the Yeti might go for him, but like Harry's just so charming that he might.
Yeah, I say the fight never happens. Yeah.
Yeah, Harry only gets triggered by taxidermy, so I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I think it'll be alright.
Although the Yeti is probably a carnivore, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I would assume the Yeti definitely is.
Yeah.
Now have you seen The Missing Link? Like they also place Bigfoot in the Pacific Northwest.
Those are pigeons.
Oh no!
No, they might be doves of some kind. I think they're doves.
We're gonna go with their
pigeons. They look
a
50-50 shot.
I mean, they're too white to be pigeons, I think.
I want to say
it would make sense with the movie.
Yeah.
That fucking smile. I'm watching the movie, goddammit.
Watching the movie while discussing the movie.
I'm like getting drawn back into it. It's good.
I know.
Oh, shoot.
All right. So does any last comments on this adorable film?
My only last comment is I just want to know, what do you think Harry smells like? Because they mention it at least 5 times at the beginning. And then the wife, when he first gets home, starts spraying Glade and like distracts him, which is silly. Do you think A, Glade sponsored this film in the 80s? Or B, what do you think Harry smells like? Because that's all Sarah did. Instead of screaming, she goes, he smells.
Fecal matter.
He smells like poop?
I think so. Like,
hands down.
I think he probably just smells in general, like outdoors and like
body odor
and hasn't. Yeah, like imagine somebody that's been camping for way too long. That
I don't want to.
That doesn't bother with hygiene. Kind of like because LaFleur has a smell to him, right? Like at one point they make, and he's like, you're not gonna get rid of my cover or whatever he says.
Yeah.
So, which is. Kind of makes sense, but so something along those lines of like body odor and just normal outdoor smells, Plus, like he is very hairy, so it probably is some fecal matter,
It just gets caught in there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Have you seen a dog?
A couple of dingleberries.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Speaking of dogs, we forgot the best character, Little Bob.
Oh,
Little Bob.
That's an excellent pet name. I think everyone should now name their dog Little Bob.
Jeffrey is the best pet name. GeoPhPhree. Jeffrey.
Yeah, iconic.
What?
Like Little Bob.
But yeah, Tim, you got any last comments after Sam's outstanding question about his smell?
No, I don't think I do. I just think it was good.
All right.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
I guess the question begs. Would you flip it on?
Flip it on. Are you asking me or are you asking Sam?
I'm asking you. I'm
asking me. Okay. I would say yes, I would flip it on. I think it's a movie from the 80s and it shows, but at the same time it holds weight to nowadays shit movies, especially as a family movie, but I mean, shoot, I enjoyed it, and I think if I was watching it for the first time, I don't know about you guys, but if I was watching it for the first time now, I would have enjoyed it. Yeah, cuz I enjoyed it as it was. It made me laugh, especially the first 5 minutes. But no, it's good. Flip it on. Yeah.
Okay. Sam?
I would agree. I would flip it on. I think it's a good family film for sure, but even as, young adults, I guess, we're actually just adults at this point, I think.
Yeah.
We're not young anymore. There's another generation behind.
That's true. We can't say that we're young adults anymore. But anywho, we are adults that are of younger years. And I found it fun. I thought it was cute. There were a lot of good scenes, lots of good quotes. And I think, I'd flip it on.
All right. So for me, I would say yes, I would flip it on, but I really did it. I did enjoy it. It's one of those movies I feel like I would see flipping through the channels on TV before like streaming was big.
Mm-hmm.
And like I would turn it on and then I would do laundry too. Like while I'm watching it, like it's not a movie I need to devote 100% attention to now, but I've seen it once.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those. It's a nice background movie at the same time. But I would watch it. I would recommend watching it the first time.
Yeah. Well, and I think there is a big section of it that you're just like kind of waiting for the movie
right
to progress. So I think, if you want to multitask with it for sure, I think that's a good idea. But also you owe it to yourself to watch it once all the way through.
Just for Rick Baker's sake, man.
For all sakes.
Definitely.
Classic and a goodie, I think.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, so we are going to go ahead. That's 3 flip it ons, by the way.
3 flip it ons. Must be a good one.
Goodie.
That or we're all just easily entertained. I don't know.
That's what I was thinking.
Well,
Low combi.
Low combi. We're going to go ahead and spin for our next week's.
Ooh.
Well, actually, our next movie is going to be spun now.
And it's going to be your choice. So we'll see what the wheel lands on.
All right, here we go. Clicking. Where's it going to stop? All right, it stops on pick 3.
Pick 3! I'm so excited.
How pick 3 is going to work, since we didn't go fully in depth on it in the intro, is the person selecting the film is going to pick. No, we're going to have one of you two pick a streaming service, then the other one pick a genre, and then I'm going to pick a number.
Yep.
So, all right. Who wants to pick the streaming service?
I'll pick the streaming service. Let's do Hulu. I feel like there's some interesting stuff on Hulu.
Yeah, we got to make sure we don't. Oh yeah, we have HBO connected, so this should be interesting.
And Tim, what genre?
Oh, genre on it said Netflix. I was gonna go horror.
Oh boy.
I mean, there's still horror on Hulu.
Yeah, but I feel like what's a good one for Hulu? I don't want to do comedy because we just watched, I guess, technically a comedy. I don't know. That's tough. What are you in the mood for, Adam?
Not comedy and not
not comedy.
I've got one that I'm gonna say because you're gonna just pick it that I'm not in the mood for.
Yeah, which is that?
I'm not gonna say it.
Let's do.
This is a trap. It's a trap.
It's a trap. No. Let's do action. Let's do an action movie.
That's a good one.
And then
we're phoned in on action because I was not really in the mood for a horror film at this moment. And I know that you would have. And I know for a fact you would have picked horror.
You would have had some excellent notes, though.
All right, so let me pull up Hulu and see. Well, no, I can't pull up Hulu. Sam's gonna pick.
I'll pull up Hulu to tell you what numbers you should pick between.
42. No, not 42.
I mean, I think safely we probably only want to pick between 1 and 30, but I mean there might be a lot of actions on here. So
yeah, and each streaming service on their apps are slightly different. I just don't want to look.
51 movies. 1 and 51.
We're gonna go with
action.
We're gonna go with 14.
Ugh.
2, 3, 4, 5,
14.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Anna, which is on HBO. I mean, that counts.
You guys have it? Do you have it?
We have HBO.
Yeah, we have
Do you
HBO.
have it?
Hulu, I guess.
All right. We'll do Anna.
Or do you want to not do any Anna?
We're gonna do.
Okay.
Or Anna. We'll figure out. We'll find out in the movie.
It's it's from 2019.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's a new one. Anyway, so yeah, that's gonna be exciting for our next movie.
Yes, find out what we have to think about this.
Well, thanks everybody for coming and watching Harry and the Henderson episode of Flipper Flicks.
Yes, even though there was nothing really to watch, thank you for that. I hope that you were watching it alongside our commentary.
Yes.
We didn't skip around at all.
No, not at all. Only Sam. Sam is she's the bad one. She skips the most.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
All right, thanks, guys.
Cool.